250, who knows? He's 39 years of age. He'll be 40 on July the 14th. The native of Georgia is ready to go. In on the grass is Matt Duffy at third. Charlie Blackmon swinging a hot bat, and he takes ball one. Charlie started off a little bit slow, first 20, though he had some atom balls in there. And over the last 8 at bats, he has 5 hits. There's the career wins leaders.
Well, now you see Charlie, what he's doing. Think about that last game at Coors Field. What's he do? He takes the ball to left field. A couple balls yesterday right up the middle. Staying centered again.
That's why I mentioned to you a moment ago, and we talked to some guys in the clubhouse about this. It is a little bit of an advantage to see a sinker baller back to back.
It is, because it's the same plane that the ball you're used to seeing from yesterday. He's going to have the now yesterday Heston had more of a curveball. For Hudson, it's more of a slider, but still the action on the fastball is going to be the same, and then followed up with the changeup.
And you have to remind yourself, make him get that sinker up. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Rockies at times yesterday chased the sinker down. They hit the ball on the ground, obviously, quite a bit. There's another base hit, Charlie Blackmon.
And
ball was a little elevated.
Where was that pitch? The theory is if it's low, let it go. If it's high, let it fly. So they wanted to come in underneath the hands of Charlie, set the target low. That tails back over the center portion, center cut, and Charlie deposits it in the right field.
So a good start for the Rockies. Cargo will try to solve Tim Hudson. In his career, he has struggled against Hudson. He's not alone, obviously. Cargo is just 2 for 14 with a couple of walks all time against Tim Hudson. Hector Sanchez doing the catching, and the first pitch is in there, strike 1. Brian Gorman's a home plate umpire. Mark Carlson is at first base, Mike DeMuro at second, and Trip Gibson is at third.
I like the take from Cargo. Yesterday he swung at the very first pitch after Charlie had led off and hit into a double play. Now you see what Hudson has.
Hudson last year in September started throwing his slider more, and it carried over into the first start at San Diego.
Well, he doesn't have the velocity that he had when he first came up. Obviously, who is going to at their age? But the last 5 years, the trend is less fastballs, more sliders.
He pitches a lot like Greg Maddux used to pitch. Not a bad guy to emulate.
Yeah. Since 2010, look at the numbers for Tim Hudson. Almost 65% of the time he's using the fastball, then it just trends downward, but the slider has gone up. And whether he changed the grip on it or just feels that's a better pitch for him now in his career, that's why he uses it.
Interesting alignment for Cargo with Hudson on the mound. Outfield is straight up and deep, and the infield basically is straight up.
It tells me they're going to pitch him in, they're going to pitch him out. There's no particular pattern.
And this is a ground ball. Belt gets there. There's one, and on to Hudson, a double play. 3-6-1 on the turn. He got the good sinker there and got the double play ball. Defensively, Aoki, Pagan, and Blanco in the outfield. Duffy's at third, Crawford at short, Panic at second, Bell at first, Hector Sanchez behind the plate. And you're saying, wait, where is Buster Posey? He's getting the day off. First time he has not played this year. He's caught 6 ball games and played first twice against Tyler Matzik tomorrow. Once again, it'll be Sanchez, that man behind the plate. Buster Posey will play first for Brandon Belt. And I'm sure Christian Bergman, any pitcher, would be happy as Tulo swings through that Posey's not in the lineup. But Posey against Bergman, 4 for 5.
A double, home run, 4 RBIs. Yeah, he'll take him out of the lineup.
Yeah, so
thank you.
Bruce Bochy, thanks very much. Ripped down the line. Could be another double for Tulowitzki. And it will be Troy's 7th double already.
Well, Troy yesterday took a breaking pitch, hit it down the line. Today, a spinning slider takes it down the line. I mean, this is just what he's been doing. If you make a mistake, he'll make you pay.
AT&T's a pitcher's park, right, Jeff? Just remind me of that.
Yes, it is.
Well,
and that's night, too.
Yeah, Morneau doesn't know that because he's hitting .343 here in 11 ball games. Outside, ball one.
Go back to that pitch and swing. First the pitch. You see the slider rotation, the red dot on the baseball, but it doesn't do anything. It just sits there, and it's spinning up there, and all you see and all you hear in your mind as a hitter is hit me and hit me hard.
And that's what he did. Outside, no, got the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike on Morneau, who had a couple of hits yesterday in 4 at-bats, a single and a double.
Well, hopefully he doesn't give Hudson that pitch all night long.
You kidding me? That's a Greg Maddux strike. That
was circa Braves in the early 90s.
Yeah, I mean, that's 3 or 4 inches off the plate. Saw it on the Ford strike zone. Two and one. Neither team put up big numbers yesterday. Obviously, the Giants had all kinds of traffic, couldn't hit with runners in scoring position. It's been an ongoing trend for them. Hopefully that continues the next couple of days. The Rockies did have 11 hits yesterday, but just 2 runs. Looking for a 3rd hit and an early lead here. 2-1 to Morneau. And this is in the air to left field. Aoki's got room, and he makes the catch to end the first frame. Middle of inning number 1. No score in San Francisco. Inning number 1. Let's take a look at Bruce Bochy's lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Nori Aoki, he's got a career best 16-game hitting streak going. 8 last year to finish, and 8 so far this year. Joe Panik will bat second. Then Angel Pagan, Brandon Belt, Gregor Blanco. Blanco's got good numbers against Christian Bergman, Matt Duffy, Hector Sanchez. Brandon Crawford's in a slump over his last 17. And then Tim Hudson, who has never been much of a hitter. One thing I really admired, I know you do, Jeff, about Christian Bergman, he's got that chip on his shoulder. He was drafted late. He's got himself to the big leagues, and he will compete.
Well, he has that attitude that you need to compete at the major league level. Even if your stuff might be short, but you still have to have that air of confidence. And invincibility about you. And for Christian Bergman last season, finally gets the opportunity after so many years down in the minor leagues. 3-5 record, but he missed some time with that broken wrist. Comes out this year, battling for a spot in spring training, and gets the win against the Cubs in relief on the home opener last Friday.
2-0 and 3-0. We don't want to start that way. Obviously, Eddie Butler, we discussed it, survived. Made a lot of big pitches with a ton of traffic. The Giants left 8 on in the first 3 innings. 3-0 touches the zone, 3-1.
Well, they left 12 on total, and that was the most in a shutout for the Giants since they left 15 on back in 2001 against Arizona.
On the ground to Morneau, and he'll get some help from Bergman. So nice comeback in that at bat for Christian Bergman, and he's got the leading man out. That'll bring up Joe Panik. Defensively, the Rockies will have Blackman in center field, Dickerson and Cargo left and right, and that airtight infield defense. Nick Hundley has caught every game but one. So the New York kid, Joe Panik, to the plate.
That's why you were chatting him up today. How far does he?
Well, he was born in Yonkers, which is about 40 minutes from where I grew up, and he lives in the offseason in White Plains. My dad, by the way, happy birthday, Dad. He turned 80 today.
How's the calf from playing softball?
Well, exactly. He's nursing the bad wheel right now from softball practice.
I love it, though. I love that.
Isn't that great? But happy birthday, Dad.
Happy
I love
birthday.
you. Yeah, you bet. And anyhow, my dad's law office for many years, he lives in Colorado now, was in White Plains, which is about 25, 30 minutes from where I'm from. Panik's a nice kid. And he did. You talked to some people on the coaching staff with the Giants. They brought him up in June, and they weren't so sure at first.
No.
They had a big need. Of course, Marco Scudero never got healthy. And Panik, you talk about stepping forward on a team that ends up winning the World Series. He hit over 300.
He's only 24. So he's got that. Comes in. Not like winning a ring in your first year.
There's pressure, Jeff. You went through it. There's pressure whenever you get to the big leagues. But pressure, you're coming up on a team that's hoping to win another ring. And they've won 2 in the last, at that time, 2 in the last, 4 years? And he was able to handle it. Little rough early. He dropped there was a double play ball.
Yes.
He's at second. He just dropped a feed, and there was murmurs. This is too big a moment for the kid. He handled it. 2-2 on Panik. There was no panic, but there's a little panic now because he's got to go away. 2 outs. Good pitch by Bergman. Here's something inexplicable to me, and this was tweeted out, and we see it on our Toyota Talk. Greg Maddux, winner of an insane amount of games. Mad Dog turns 49 in human years. that's a great one from him. But he's 49. Why is he not pitching?
Could still probably go out there and paint the corners.
I mean, it wasn't like he lost his fastball. He wasn't going to throw by anybody anyhow. He can get guys out still, can't he?
Yes, he can.
And misses ball 1 on Pagan. Eddie Butler got Pagan a couple times yesterday with heavy traffic. 2-0. There's Eddie. Man, it's like sitting down in, a 400 level economics class for Eddie Butler every time he takes them out.
And not only the guys on his team, but other pitchers. I mean, tonight he has a chance to watch Tim Hudson. I mean, learn from everybody. I know guys will study other players' swings from the other team, or maybe see how they're doing out in the infield, how they approach a ball or the outfield. You can always learn from somebody playing, whether it's your team or the other team.
2 outs, nobody on. 2-2 the count on Angel Pagan. 3-2. Jorge De La Rosa, who would have made this start, went 5 innings for Albuquerque tonight. This is fouled off. 3 runs, 2 earned on 5 hits. Did not walk a batter, struck out 5. So a solid outing for De La Rosa. There's the numbers.
And then, yeah, the 76 pitches, because that'll take him to 90 or 95 in his next start. And that's why they sent him out for this extra rehab start, because you'd only thrown, 54, 56, 59 pitches in his prior start.
That's going to get up the middle, beats the shift. And Pagan, with 2 outs, reaches. Rockies fans, you can join the conversation again this season. Send us your thoughts and photos via your favorite social media platform. Use the hashtag Toyota Talk, and we'll show some of our Toyota Talk comments, as we just did, throughout the ball game. In fact, we have another one right now. Good news, Ken Rosenthal tweeting out that the Indians have signed Jolie Chacin. They designated Sean Markham for assignment. It's a minor league deal for Chacin. We wish him well.
Terry Francona said he's going to try to build up his arm strength and then see where he is at. So that's the best you can hope for right now, early in the season.
Rockies have the shift on with Belt up there as well. That fastball's high, 1-0. Brandon Belt missed 4 games early this season, which means last week, with a groin strain. Boy, he had a rough year with injuries last season.
Didn't he?
3 different times on the DL. Uh-oh. Get foul. Hook. Foul ball.
That doesn't count as a splash hit, though. Okay? It's a splash foul. I'm not sure how many. They don't have it. They don't keep a mark for those.
It's a long strike is what it is.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Baseball obviously interfered with the boat traffic. Somebody's honking their horn. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed. 1-2.
Went right back and challenged him with the fastball.
One-two. Check swing, foul ball.
And these numbers are from last year for Christian Bergman.
He's added a splitter this year.
And he'll use that as his changeup, much like we saw yesterday from Rafael Betancourt, where he threw the split-fingered changeup.
He's cutting the baseball a little
cutting
bit
the fastball to go along with the sink on the fastball. This is where I'd like to see that split change. Throw it down. Swing over the top.
Two outs, bottom of the first inning. 1-2 on Brandon Belt. Pagan singled a moment ago. He's at first. And a roller to Tulo. Good job by Bergman in the first. We move on to inning number 2. No score. AT&T Park, Tuesday night in the City by the Bay. agricultural heart of the city. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. 24 Willie Mays Place. Well, some old friends at the ballpark. Brian Peters there, who's done a lot of work with us. Scott Bay on the left, and of course Scott Hastings on the right. Nuggets in town. Those guys all working on the Nuggets side of things. Here's Nolan Arenado inside, ball one on Nolan. Nolan's very, very close. In fact, they were living together during spring training. His younger brother, Jonah, who was drafted by the Giants in the 16th round a year and a half ago. Jonah's off to a great start with Augusta in the Sally League. He's hitting 400s, got a couple home runs, 5 ribbies in his first 5 games. Good for you, Jonah.
Well, I just hope that Nolan bought all the groceries.
Better have.
Say, come on, bro. You got to pick me up. I'm the low minor leaguer here.
2-0's fouled off.
But it is comforting for somebody to have like a Nolan to lean on. And he's not much older, but old enough, and he's got the experience in the big leagues. So when you do have those struggles, you have somebody that can relate.
Yep. Nolan hitless in his last 2 ball games. Here's the 2-1. This ball's driven to left center field, won't be hitless anymore. This is going to touch down and roll to the wall, and the Rockies have yet another double. This one of the leadoff variety. Good patient at bat. Again, kind of like we described with Charlie Blackmon. He got a sinker up, it looked like.
Yeah, and for Nolan, backup cutter again. It didn't do anything like the ball that Tulo hit into the gap. 7th extra base hit for Nolan on the season.
Nobody's told the Rockies that the trend in baseball is that nobody hits and nobody scores. Because the Rockies as a club are hitting .317. The National League overall, Huey, hitting .239. To give you an historical perspective on that, the National League hit .249 last year. If you look at the extra base hits leaders in the National League, the only season in the history of the National League that the average was below .239 was 1901. When the league hit .239, excuse me. Pitchers are dominating, strikeouts are up, runs are down.
We talked about it on the pregame show. The average velocity is going up.
That's up the middle, base hit. Good read for Arenado. Pagan can throw a little bit. Here's the throw to the plate, cut off, throw to second. Safe there. 1-0 Colorado. Corey Dickerson drives it in and heads up base running. He's safe at second. It all began knowing defensive position for Nolan Arenado.
Well, and you have to know for Corey that he's trying to get that ball to the right side at minimum, but he hits it up the middle. He knew where the shortstop was. He takes off running, but good for Corey to continue to go to second base because Brandon Crawford had to go out because he thought he was going to have a chance to get to that baseball. So by the time Brandon Belt cut it off and threw it back to a running Crawford going to the bag, you slide underneath it.
4 hits in the early going against Hudson. Nobody out. Another runner in scoring position for Nick Hundley, who's swinging it well. And Nick puts it on the ground to short. A runner over.
And another piece of base running that was heads up from Corey. The ball's hit behind you, take off.
DJ LeMahieu will step up with that cool .517 average. Who wants tacos? When the Rockies score 7 or more, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Liv Moss at Taco Bell. The infield comes in. DJ, I was chatting with him in the clubhouse a couple of hours ago, and he said this is the best he has felt at the plate in the big leagues in terms of being comfortable.
Oh, he's got some at-bats under his belt. He knows situations. He knows his swing. He changed it over the winter. Tried to get away from the high leg kick that he's had. He still brings a leg up to help him get the weight transfer going from back to front. But for DJ, he's figured out, if I keep my hands inside the baseball, and even if they come inside, I can still turn on it, but I know what I want to do now.
Let's see how they handle this. Hector Sanchez looked at Bruce Bochy. It's 2-0. So you have the pitcher on deck. There's one out.
Well, they're going to challenge him with the fastball. Oh.
This goes back, and scoring's Dickerson, 2-0. Back-to-back ball games. The Rockies have scored on a wild pitch. Nick Hundley yesterday. Today it's Dickerson. Off the glove of Hector Sanchez.
Think about how this inning has played out. You get the leadoff double, then the single up the middle, but you take take second on the throw. You move up to third because of just a ground ball was hit to the shortstop, and then you score on a wild pitch. The little things out on the road to add an insurance run.
Particularly in this ballpark. 3-0 on DJ. Taking the whole way. It's 3-1. We talked about how Blackmon got a sinker elevated, how Arenado got a sinker elevated. The guy who didn't get the ball elevated, but his hand-eye coordination is ridiculous, that was Dickerson. He hit the ball, a sinker that was literally about 4 inches off the ground up the middle.
Because he wanted to get that runner over, so that's the easy ball to hit on the ground. So you take your swing, he hit it where nobody was, that helps, but his thought process was, I'm going to hit it on the ground, so at minimum I move that runner over.
Did one better, moved him over 2 spots.
Yeah, that's a good one, to get him over and get him in at the same time.
Yeah. 3-2 on DJ. And that's line to right. It's going to tail foul.
Well, that's why you bring your glove.
DJ, a 7-game hitting streak to begin the season. He has multiple hits in 5 of those games. And this ball rifled to center field. Pagan will have to field it on a hop. DJ's got an 8-game hitting streak, and he's using the whole ballpark.
DJ can hit it to right field as well as anybody, not only in the National League, but the major leagues. They're just making him pay for every mistake that he makes. Staying tall through that ball is DJ.
Christian Bergman will try to move him along.
One of those zones you just wake up every morning and then praying that it's still there.
This is an element of offensive baseball, maybe the only element the Rockies have not done well with so far this year. Yesterday, they were 0 for 4 trying to get a bunt down. DJ, believe it or not, missed a couple times. Descalso pinch hitting, didn't get a bunt down a couple of times.
And you work on it so much in spring training. The pitchers are doing it every day.
Bergman's going to get 2 more opportunities.
There he
gets that one down. So another runner in scoring position after the successful sacrifice by Bergman. And Charlie Blackmon, who's as hot right now as LeMahieu coming up. Charlie 6 for his last 9.
First sacrifice of the year for Christian.
1-0. Hudson last year, for the first time in his marvelous career, was under 500. He went 9-13. In fact, he was never under 500 as a minor league pitcher.
And just at 500 here at AT&T Park, 5-5, 3.94 ERA.
It's on the corner, 1-1. Charlie hit 19 home runs last year. 17 were pulled, right or right center. The Giants, despite the loss yesterday, were very pleased with how Chris Heston threw the ball again. And why not? 7 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned, 7 hits, couple walks, 5 strikeouts. And a number of players and coaches made mention of the fact that it was a strong outing, especially given their respect for the Rockies lineup. This ball is pulled towards second. Panic's got it. Rockies in the inning come up with a pair of runs on 3 hits, so a good start. And the Rockies have a 2-0 lead, middle of 2. DJ LeMahieu staying hot. Nolan Arenado a double. Dickerson involved as well. 2-0 Colorado.
The bottom of the second. Jenny Kavnar with you down here in the camera well. And for Christian Bergman, the offseason for him came learning in the form of watching a lot of video of his new teammate in Kyle Kendrick. Well, here's Kendrick's response to that.
He told me, I said, I hope you learned something. But yeah, I mean, he's got good stuff. A competitor, smart, knows how to pitch, moves the ball in and out, and I think he's going to do well in his role, and looking forward to watching him tonight.
Bergman and Kendrick have formed a unique relationship. They sit next to each other in the clubhouse here on the road at AT&T Park. Bergman's really been picking Kendrick's brain because Kendrick has experience of having to be a starter and pitch out of the pen in a season. In fact, he did it for 2 different years in Philadelphia. Had 185 starts with 41 relief appearances. As for Bergman, 10 starts for him coming into tonight with just 1 relief appearance. But again, it's that mentality and that shift and having to learn how to do both of them. Kendrick's biggest advice is make sure in between you're really getting your side work done and you're able to keep yourself stretched out. And so for Bergman tonight, hopefully that's the case because he had a lot of pitches there in the first inning. Guys?
Yeah, you hope he can work deep because it's been, 10 days or so since he started a game. He had that one relief appearance. Jenny was talking about that. It's always nice to have a veteran guy who's done both to lean on. LaTroy Hawkins is another guy you can lean on because Hawkins originally was a starter. Here's the 1-0 to Duffy.
Well, and not only a veteran, but a similar style and type of pitcher. Now, if you're Christian Bergman, would you want to, follow somebody that threw ask somebody that threw 96 all the time and had a nasty slider? This is, you're not going to pitch the same way as that person. I think the other helpful thing for Christian tonight is he knew when he was pitching after that game on Friday that he knew this is what his day to start, so he had time to prepare and do the side work that he needed to.
That just missed, so a 4-pitch walk with 1 out. Duffy reaches. And that'll bring up Hector Sanchez, a switch-hitting catcher. 7 of the 9 hitters, because Sanchez is a switch hitter, Pagan a switch hitter. 7 of the 9 in this lineup for the Giants are left-handed. Sanchez, another guy with the Giants who battled injuries last year. He had concussion issues in July and eventually had to shut it down for the year. Ended up hitting below 200. He's got some pop. Every time he would step to the plate, especially when Panda was here, you'd think it was the same guy, similar body type.
Well, and similar strike zone. That they'll swing from their shoelaces up to their helmet.
Good pitch. 0-2 on Sanchez.
And that was down by the shoelaces.
Speaking of catchers, by the way, did you catch what Dustin Garneau did yesterday for the Isotopes? Hit a home run for Albuquerque last night to tie the game in the 8th against Tacoma and then beat him in the 10th with a home run. He also threw out 3 of 4 would-be base stealers, Dustin Garneau.
Isotopes won 4-3. Brandon Barnes with a couple hits last night, 2 for 4.
Yeah, Matt McBride's hit a home run tonight. Also Tim Wheeler. Well, McBride had a sensational spring. Swung on and missed, a strikeout of Hector Sanchez. Second punch out for Christian Bergman, and that'll bring up Brandon Crawford.
Get it underneath the hands. Tardy swing from Sanchez.
Crawford 0 for 6 lifetime against Bergman, and he's 0 for 17 of late. Trying to spot the fastball. It was wide.
And 0 for 17 for Crawford, falls to 5 for 12 in his first few starts of the year.
One on Crawford. Line foul. Christian was a 24th round pick back in 2010. He's from California. Southern California kid.
Got a UC Irvine.
The Anteaters.
Do you like the Anteaters better or the Banana Slugs?
Banana Slugs. Who are the Banana Slugs again? That's Chico State or
Santa Cruz?
That's Santa Cruz. The Banana Slugs. All right, name an NBA coach who went to UC Irvine. Former Nugget. Good guy. He's got a really good team, but he's got one of his stars hurt. Has an MVP candidate on his team. I'm running out of hints. Scotty Brooks.
Okay, thank you.
Former anteater. There's our NBA contingent. Well, Steve Kerr's done a great job with Golden State, hasn't he? Here's the 1-2. Crawford didn't bite on the breaking ball. 2-2.
Has to be coach of the year.
That's a pretty good call. Two outs, 2-2 on Crawford with Duffy running, and it's a ground ball toward DJ. He'll come up with it. Bergman safely through the second inning. Rockies have a 2-0 lead as we go to the third at AT&T Park. Thanks for watching the Rockies on Root Sports. Be sure to tell us where you're watching from on Twitter at Root Sports RM. And also thanks for rooting on the Isotopes as well, the Rockies' new AAA affiliate down in beautiful Albuquerque, New Mexico. Spent a lot of time there in the offseason doing some New Mexico basketball, a couple baseball tournaments down there. Always enjoy going to Albuquerque. You spent a lot of time down there and in your travels as well.
Yeah, and for baseball, they recruit a lot of Colorado kids.
Yes,
There's
they do.
A lot of kids that are playing for the Lobos.
Lobos have a good program. Here's Cargo. And the breaking ball misses. Cargo bounced into a 3-6-1 double play his first time up. Rockies got two last inning. Cargo out in front a little bit. See the pattern after the Milwaukee series. A lot of guys going softer. Pitching Cargo backwards. He's not getting a lot of fastballs. Certainly early in counts.
They saw the home run off the scoreboard on a fastball.
This ball is going to get through the right side, so Cargo's got himself a base hit. And the Rockies have their fifth hit of the evening. Here's something interesting. Tim Hudson last year got off to a fabulous start. As Jeff mentioned, he was an all-star for the fourth time in his career. And then the turn of events in the second half, and you could attribute a lot of it to how he handled right-handed batters. That sinker, the first half of the season, kind of what we'd seen throughout Hudson's career. The league hit just .219 against him. Second half, .313, 94 points higher. And so far in the ball game tonight, right-handed hitters for the Rockies are 3 for 4.
Yeah, and the trend has continued from the post-All-Star break of last year. The sinker, we've seen it elevated a number of times early in this game. And for right-handers, you think about it, if that ball's not sinking where you have to open up sooner or you think you have to get the head of the bat out, you're going to stay in there, and then you're not going to be worried about the slider. It's not going to fool you.
1-0 on Tulo. Troy doubled down the left field line his first time up. His league-leading 7th double of the year. Good buddy at first. Carlos Gonzalez draws a throw. And on the graphic, you saw that his ERA basically doubled from the first half to the second half.
4.73 in the second half last year. Dave Righetti, the pitching coach, looking on.
That's a strike. Hudson, all those seasons in the big leagues, and yet had never been to a World Series before last year. So Saturday will be a special moment for everybody, but for Tim Hudson, he gets his first ring. Starting to be old hat for some of these guys like Posey.
Well, there's 16 players on the Giants roster that have at least 2 World Series rings. 16.
Isn't that something? This ball's hitting the air to center field. Pagan makes the catch. I thought for a moment Cargo may go back and tag. Elected not to. 1 out. Now you have a big man in the left-handed batter's box. See if Cargo looks to run here. Always more of a distraction for a catcher to throw when you have a guy in the left side of the batter's box.
Yeah, because you have to rely on somebody else to tell you the runner is going instead of being able to see it peripherally if there's a right-handed hitter.
And if the pitch is in that he's going on, you have to clear yourself a little bit to get the throw off.
Right. Good lead at first for Carlos. Actually a perfect size lead, just a step and a dive, and then that's what you want as a base stealer. Shuffle, shuffle. Yeah, that's a good 12, 13-foot lead.
This ball clubbed to center field. Pagan going back, way back, and leaps and makes the catch. Wow. I thought off the bat that was gone.
I did too. And Justin thought so as well. The outfielders for the Giants play particularly deep. So Pagan, he goes back. He knows where the track is once he hits it in the wall. He knows he's running out of real estate. Goes up against the padding. But off the bat, I was with you, Drew. I thought that was going to be a 2-run shot, 4-0 lead.
So with 2 outs, Arenado will come up. He doubled to left center his first time. He gets a curveball for a strike. Well, a year ago, Justin Morneau hit his first Colorado Rockies home run in this ballpark. Hit it out to left center. 2 strikes on Nolan. Hudson will win 200-plus games, not doing everything well. He's a good fielder, and he's been quick to the plate. He's been around 1-2 to the plate.
You know when guys are going to steal, what they're thinking after so many times out on the hill. No sense giving him a freebie. Now, if you're Carlos, I would look for that slider down in the dirt, and if it pops away, then take off.
A strikeout of Arenado, so Cargo left at first base. That's the first strikeout this year, believe it or not, for Tim Hudson. 2-0 Colorado. At bats, just the second strikeout for Tim Hudson in 2 starts. Hudson doesn't strike out a lot of guys, and Arenado making contact every time up. Hudson with a 1-strike count, and now a 2-strike count.
Go ahead and make it a 3-strike count.
This ball's pretty well hit. Charlie will get back and make the play. About as far as Tim can hit it, I'm sure. Well, we're talking about the lack of strikeouts for Nolan Arenado, but as a whole, look at this. Last year at home, the Rockies struck out once every 5.81 plate appearances, which was the 5th fewest in baseball. But the contrast was on the road. They struck out the second most frequent time, the second most times of any team in baseball out on the road. Quite a disparity. Once basically every 4 plate appearances. So far this year, I know it's only 4 games. Once every 6.71 plate appearances, which is the 3rd fewest in baseball. So they went from a team that struck out more than just about anybody in baseball last year on the road to so far this year, again, just a handful of games. But they're not punching out. The ball's in play, and the way they can swing it, if the ball's in play, you got a chance to score.
That's right, and that's why they're 4-0 out on the road. I know it's early, but too many times last year, the empty at-bats, the 10, 12, 14 strikeouts out on the road. And runners in scoring position, maybe at third base, just get the ball in play on the ground, and then instead you're walking back to the dugout with an empty at-bat.
How many times did we make that statement on the road where it was double-digit strikeouts away from home, And if the Rockies can continue that trend anywhere close to how they've started, you're going to have a chance to score more runs. Now, we know they're going to score at home. Just 255 runs on the road last year, which was one of the poorest marks in the game. And why the Rockies went 21-60, which was the worst road record in franchise history. So the early returns, and you can say, well, Hudson doesn't strike a lot of guys out. They've already faced two guys that typically do. Matt Garza strikes guys out. Yes. Willie Peralta strikes guys out. Two guys they faced in Milwaukee. 2-2. Outside on Aoki. I know that stat pleases Blake Doyle. That's outside and a one-out walk to Aoki. Talked so much in spring training about a two-strike approach and staying with it.
You have to. Well, fans, the first Purple Monday is coming up. It's April 20th, where Purple win prizes, in the first 5,000 fans will receive a Rockies Purple Bomber hat. 303 Rockies. For tickets, or go online to rockies.com/promotions. It's got a nice little CR on it, some snowflakes. It's a nice hat.
We could use one tonight.
Yeah, we could. We could use it when we come back in June, too, here in San Francisco.
Is that the next time we're here?
Yes. The end of June.
One out. Joe Panik at the plate with Aoki at first. This ball lifted to deep right. Cargo going back. And Cargo leaps and makes the catch. Panik hit that a long way and almost a double play.
And this is where, for Carlos, you don't know where that wall jets out and where it goes back, because he's putting up his hand a long ways from the wall. Better safe than sorry. Because this is probably as unique a right field positioning as there is in baseball. Because it starts at 309 down the line, goes to 365, but that State Farm then cuts some back off where the wall is, and then it juts out to 429 and triples out.
Yeah, it's the most unique right field in baseball. That's a testament to how good an outfielder Cargo is. Doesn't matter where you put him. No. Left field, right field, center field. Inside corner, a strike on Pagan, and singled his first time up. And that's there as well, 0-2. Three on the right side for Pagan. And a line drive, Tulo can't reach. Actually, that was Arenado. Let me correct that. So for the first time in the game, a runner at second base for the Giants. First and second, 2 outs for Brandon Belt.
Just goes with the pitch. This Pagan only got up as high as he could. The position was right, just couldn't elevate that high.
Tulo's looking in the dugout for positioning, and he started to go to the right side, stopped, and now they wave him over, so he's just to the right of the second base bag. Ball one.
Well, and then Nolan has to stay closer to third base with the runner at second.
There's a big hole,
big gap
on the left side. Belt hit the ball toward the middle of the diamond his first time up, but Tulo was right there. Back-to-back breaking balls, and it's 1-1.
Troy, even though he's on the second base side, he can still keep Aoki close, so he doesn't get a walking, running lead.
Two on Belt. There's 2 hits he has, the only 2 hits he has this year. No swing. I'd be surprised if he goes breaking ball again.
Yeah, because if you come inside with the fastball, you better make sure you get it in. Don't let him extend his arms.
Yeah, he went fastball, but it was up and away. 3-2. And the runners obviously will be moving. 2 outs. Aoki at second. He walked. Pagan singled. He's at first. Rockies up 2-0 in the third.
Fielders just reminded the outfielders, if it's a base hit, the runner's going, don't worry about Aoki at second because he's going to score, but try to keep Pagan from making it to third.
And another check swing, foul ball.
This is a case of, what do you feel comfortable throwing? You want to go the sinker, you feel good with the changeup. Got him with the sinking fastball in his first at bat.
Fly ball down the left field line, and Arenado will make the play. Wind kept that in play, and that'll close out the Giants in the third. Rockies talked about it before this series. Stay with everything near the stands because a lot of times it'll blow back in play. 2-0. well for Clint Hurdle's team. 2-0 Colorado here as we go to the top of the 4th inning with Jeff Hewson and Jenny Cavnar. I'm Drew Goodman. Corey Dickerson had a single and an RBI in the second, would come around to score as well. Nick Hundley and DJ LeMahieu after Corey. Dickerson with 10 RBIs now, and that's a rocket up the middle base hit. Rockies have accumulated 7 hits already in 3+ innings against Tim Hudson.
I was just laughing because Tim Hudson's body language after that single up the middle right there by Corey, he just dropped his shoulders and put his head down.
Hundley moved a runner along his first time up. Ground ball to short. These are 2 more candidates to put together a hit and run at some point in this sequence.
You see the big hole between first and second.
Hudson's thinking along the same lines. That's a strike.
I think that the hit and run will happen now. I didn't.
Not in this count.
No,
right?
I didn't like it 0-1. If he gets back to 1-1, it's a possibility.
And Nick serves it foul with the bullpen young man. Made a catch.
It's Mark Madden, 58-year-old. He plays in a men's league here.
Look at that glove he broke out.
That's what I'm saying. Boy,
Listen, that's his dad's glove.
Yeah, that's the one they used to leave on the field for the other team to come and pick up.
Exactly. 0-2, and Nick drives it to center field for a base hit. Dickerson takes a look, hesitates, now he'll go.
He lulled them into that.
Yep. And it's first and third as the Rockies have nobody out. 8 hits already. Hundley's hitting 6 of his 7 starts this year.
Don't overswing with 2 strikes. And Nick did not.
What did we talk about earlier?
Yes,
the 2-strike approach.
Just stay centered.
Too often last year, those were empty at bats.
Well, you'd see the back leg swing, the uppercut.
The Rockies trying to grow that 2-run lead. Right man at the plate in DJ LeMahieu. Singled his first time up. He's hit in all 8 ball games for the Rockies. It's hard to come in with a .517 average and have it go up. Little safety squeeze, and the Rockies will get the run. How about that? He did that on his own,
yes,
didn't
he did. And Corey had to know at third base because Stu told him, listen, this might be a possibility. If he squares around to bunt, make sure it's down before you take off.
It's such a great play first and third in that situation because you
Corey.
get the run and you're going to get another guy in scoring
Sees
position.
It down and he goes. He had the secondary lead. He had the movement going to home. Ball down on the ground. Continue.
DJ with his 6th RBI. Bergman at the plate.
This goes back to DJ being a ball player. Just flat out seeing what's happening in front of him. Some things you can't teach, but other things you learn through your career.
He's a winning player.
He is.
One and two. Bergman, I'm sure you're curious, has one major league hit. Looking for that second hit in the first ribby of his career. Got a bunt down in the second. Well, he's going to have to wait for another opportunity. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Charlie Blackmon. Charlie is singled through the right side and ground ball to second. Blackmon, like Morneau, has swung the bat well at AT&T Park, a career .328 average. Nick Hundley, who had a base hit, he's in scoring position with 2 outs.
We talk about the weather and the heavy air at times out of the West Coast, but the one thing it does have here at AT&T Park is the backdrop. Very good hitter's eye to pick up the ball from. Not quite as good as Arizona's, Colorado, but it is still a good one. And that's the batter's eye I was referencing.
That'll go foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. So the Rockies have been the visiting team for 2 clubs opening their season at home. Milwaukee, and yesterday, obviously, San Francisco. And they're not going to be the homecoming opponent anymore because they shut out the Brewers 10-0 on opening day in Milwaukee, and they shut out the Giants yesterday here at AT&T 2-0.
It happened a few times in my career where you had that third opening day. After the first 2, you say, "Uncle, I've had enough. I don't want to do this anymore," and wait and watch, all the introductions. Let's just get down to playing ball every single day.
This ball is ripped to right field, and it's going to be grabbed out there by Blanco. In the inning, the Rockies build another run. Dickerson and Hundley back-to-back singles, and the beautiful safety squeeze from DJ LeMahieu, 3-0.
to the bottom of the fourth. A lot of talk about weather when we come here to San Francisco. It doesn't matter if it's the middle of the summer or early in the season, the wind is going to be a factor. For Walt Weiss, he said earlier today, anything in the air can be an adventure, and the Rockies saw that yesterday.
Yeah, you got to communicate, and you can't give up on balls. Like you saw that one, it looked like it was going to be Nolan's ball, and then next thing you know, Tulo's catching it near the second base bag. So, and I think it happened on their side too. So, yeah, that's one of the challenges of playing here. You know, there's certain ballparks have certain challenges. The elements are part of those challenges here.
Gregor Blanco with a leadoff single there. You talk about the wind here because it is a factor, and obviously Walt Weiss saying that they're 53 degrees currently, the wind out of the west-northwest at 16 miles per hour. And Jeff, I heard that you learned a pretty cool word yesterday. What's this thingamabobber called? Oh no.
Yes.
I put you on the spot.
Well, hold on. I got to go back and I got to look because somebody texted me the correct name of it. Because I just called it the thingamabobber yesterday.
Well, that's what I'm going to call it right now. We're going to keep an eye on that thing, though, because the wind does start swirling down here. What was that?
Anemometer.
There you go. Do you want to spell it?
Enemometer.
Correct. You won the spelling bee.
Cheater.
That's the first time ever in my life.
You're a cheater. That's why. I know you're reading right off your text message.
Pretty much.
But really, when you're here, maybe we can get a shot of it. The flags on top of AT&T Park is always what I don't watch for, but listen for. Because as soon as they start flapping a ton, that's when you know it's going to be a problem defensively more than anything.
By the way, what did you call it, Huey?
Anemometer.
Jenny, it's anemometer.
Anemometer. Yeah.
Hey, Drew, are you cheating now, too?
No, Tavis got in my ear, though.
Oh, okay.
So, sort of.
That's just getting help.
Yeah. 1 and 2 on
Anemometer. Thank you.
Jenny, are you warm enough?
Yeah, thanks for your concern. Earlier, you guys were talking about you could use the Colorado giveaway hat. What about me? I'm just sitting down here.
Hat.
We assume,
freezing.
because you're better prepared than we are, that you had one already.
You did teach me about the 5 Ps. I clearly forgot one of them today.
Prior preparation prevents poor performance. 1 and 2 on Matt Duffy. Leadoff single for Gregor Blanco's 5 for 8 lifetime against Christian Bergman. Rockies up 3-0, bottom of 4. They've out-hit the Giants 8-3. It's a boots, tight, scarf, jacket kind of night in San Francisco, and probably some hot chocolate later from Giardelli. We didn't get there last night, Jenny.
You guys were going to bring me some tonight. You know, if George was here, he would bring me some. He always has a guy deliver me some down here.
He has a guy?
So I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying maybe you two could pick your game up a bit.
That actually sounds like a pretty good plan here. 2-2 runner going, and it's a ground ball to first, knocked down by Morneau. That's all. That was a tough play.
Yeah, it was.
That'll be a hit. And it's first and second, nobody out for Hector Sanchez.
Well, and for coming off the bag for Justin. Comes off, he's at 89 feet away from the plate. And your only hope is you just try to smother it. Knock it down and keep it close enough. But that one kicked because it was hit hard to his right.
Let's see if Bergman can get a ground ball here with Sanchez at the plate. Struck him out his first time. Broken bat, foul ball.
Oh, another catch.
It's the glove.
It is the glove. Oh, this is the backhand with the short glove.
Little exhale, huh? If you open that up, we can turn it around. It's the same model that it's the old it's the Honus Wagner model. That may not be his dad's. That may be granddad's.
The Hall of Fame called. They want their glove back.
Right. He stole that out of an exhibit. One and one on Hector Sanchez. Tim Wheeler down in Albuquerque hit a walk-off home run tonight. He's second of the ball game. Second night in a row that the Isotopes have gotten a walk-off home run to beat Tacoma. Last night it was Dustin Garneau, who also hit 2 home runs. Tonight it's Tim Wheeler. That's a good-looking team down
3
there.
3.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent on that Albuquerque team. 1-1. They're giving error, and I don't understand that, because it's a hot shot in between hop, and he had to lay out. That's one I guarantee you will be turned around, because the Giant player, in this case Matt Duffy, loses a hit. That's one that generally gets fouled. They have 24 hours, and I guarantee you the Giants are going to petition to get that changed. Swung on and missed. So for the second time tonight, Bergman strikes out Sanchez. And that'll bring up Brandon Crawford.
Much like what we saw yesterday from Eddie Butler when he needed to make a pitch tonight, Christian Bergman, same thing. Made the pitch with the curveball.
That's what we reference at the top of the broadcast. Bergman doesn't have outstanding stuff. I mean, Eddie Butler last night, though he walked 6, Eddie Butler's got heavy sink, 93 to 95. His 4-seamer will touch 97. Bergman doesn't have that kind of stuff. He is a tremendous competitor, though, and that's why he has gotten himself to the big leagues. Got toughness. Strike one on Crawford. There's Eddie, and he has a very bright future.
Well, Noah Christian needs a ground ball. 4-6-3 double play.
Scott Oberg is jogging down to the bullpen. And if and when he comes in, it will be his major league debut. .77 pitches in for Bergman.
He'll probably top out at 90, 95.
Ground ball foul. I mean, Christian was stretched out at the end of spring training, but he's been, relegated to a bullpen role. And the one appearance he made, it was a great one. He got the win, but he threw only 1 inning in that ball game.
Right, and that's why I say if you get him to 100, that might be stretching it. I know you'd like to get him through 5 innings to a chance for a W, but you can't look too far ahead.
Good job by Hundley keeping it around. It's 1-2. This is the key at bat in this whole sequence. 2 on, 1 out. Crawford's hitting out of the 8th spot. The man on deck is Tim Hudson. If you get Crawford, your odds of getting out of this go way up. Another 1-2. And another good block from Nick Hundley.
Christian, you're thinking just one more pitch. You'll make one more pitch. Right now to Crawford.
the air, center field, left center field. Blackman makes the catch. 2 outs. So he wins the battle with Crawford, and that'll bring up Tim Hudson.
So that was the one more pitch to Crawford. Clear the mind. Don't relax on Hudson.
And just what you said, that reminder may be coming from Morneau and Tulowitzki, a couple veterans, Nick Hundley out there as well. Don't relax, keep your focus. Scott Oberg is ready. There's a signal from Darren Holmes. Obviously, if you're Walt, you don't want to get to Oberg till next inning. They'll see where Bergman is, but it would be the 3rd time through, so it would probably be the point in time where Walt would make that move, especially with the pitch count that you alluded to.
And you would like for him to start with a clean inning if it's going to be his first appearance.
Yeah, good point. I like the decision there. Nick Hundley called for a changeup. Hudson actually drove the ball to center field pretty well his first time up.
It's probably his best bolt. That's his, he's going to hit it there.
Another off-speed pitch, 0-2. Hudson in his career 2 for 53 coming into the season. A lot of years in the American League. Got him. Well done, Christian Bergman. First 2 men in the inning got base hits, or at least one should have been credited a hit. 2 men on, and he gets the next 3. Root Sports is brought to you by the Ford Mustang. Head-turning and heart-pounding Ford. Go further. By Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. So many beautiful sights in the city by the bay. San Francisco and the Rockies. Game 2 of 19 this year. The Rockies won yesterday 2-0. They're up 3-0 as they come to the plate in the 5th inning. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 for Colorado. Carlos Gonzalez, Troy Tulowitzki, and Justin Morneau against Tim Hudson. They've already produced 8 hits against Hudson. Fargo has one of them. Led off the 3rd with a base hit, was stranded at first. Oberg continues to throw.
That tells me he's coming into the game.
Two and 0. 85 pitches for Friedrich. Or excuse me, for Bergman. Got the wrong Christian for a moment. Cargo was shocked he got a fastball
yes,
there. He was sitting off speed even though it was 2-0.
Yes. Because he's gotten so many of them the last 5 or 6 games.
Two-one. Tulowitzki on deck.
Be patient, Cargo. You have to tell yourself.
Got a quality swing off there. It's 3-2. Seagulls are circling early this evening. Usually they come in around 10 or so. It's 10 of 9 local time. They know when the games typically end.
We didn't get the schedule right. That was a day game.
And Cargo hits it on the ground to Panic.
You want to see Coors Field? Well, the best way to do it is take a behind-the-scenes tour. Group and individual tickets are available year-round. Call 303 Rockies for more information. Go behind the scenes. Coors Field tours Monday through Saturday.
This is going to shock you, Huey. But
what happened?
That error they gave Morneau?
Right.
I told you they would change it.
Oh.
Didn't take 24 hours, did it?
No. We were talking about that in between break.
Ball and a strike on Tulo, a double in the first, fly ball to fairly deep center field in the third. 17 home runs against the Giants in his career. 9 have come at AT&T Park. Grew up in Fremont, not far from here. Along with Pat Burgess, who's been the Rockies' bullpen catcher for a number of years. Pat wears a lot of hats for the Rockies, does a great job. They were high school teammates. We'll get a shot of Pat in a moment. Pat's a year older than Troy.
That was great BP.
Yep.
Every day. There's Pat.
And
that helps to have a bullpen catcher that can do that. He can catch, he can throw batting practice, he studies film, he helps with the whole process. So your backup catchers don't have to go down there. Now, if there's 2 guys throwing, one of them, it's either going to be Willeen or Michael. They're going to have to go catch. But for just one guy, it'll be Pat.
Strike 3, outside corner. Troy asking Brian Gorman where that was. It was off the plate. Gorman has given Tim Hudson
all night
a couple inches off that plate a few times tonight.
We talked about that. That's the Maddox comeback fastball. Starts in the chalk in the opposite batter's box and swings around the corner, but that one was still off the corner.
Troy's got a reason to be hacked off at that. Ball 1 on Morneau. I thought Morneau hit it out his last time up. Pagan made a great catch at the wall in center field.
When we talk to Justin tomorrow and ask him about it, I'm sure he'll say the same thing.
Now, last year, the first home run for Morneau in a Rockies uniform, I mentioned, came here at AT&T Park, and it was against Tim No. And a ground ball to Panic. First 1-2-3 inning for Hudson. Middle of 5. Rockies leading 3-0 over the Giants. Time for our first bank game recap. Rockies up 3-0. They've out-hit the Giants 8-4. Corey Dickerson has scored a couple runs. He has a ribby. DJ LeMahieu's been involved. He had a beautiful safety squeeze. Christian Bergman could go long, but he pitched 4 shutout innings, 4 hits, couple walks, 4 punch-outs, and now he gives way to Scott Oberg out of UConn, making his major league debut. He's from Tewksbury, Massachusetts, which is north of Boston near the New Hampshire border. And he has really good stuff. He's been a closer throughout his time in the Rockies organization in the minor leagues, and a good one.
Yeah, hard thrower, hard slider. Say 33 games a few years back for Modesto.
And his first big league pitch a little bit high at 93. He's got his family here.
Where's that?
Guess you got to be Hudson to get that pitch.
Yeah.
Huh? Come on, man. That's right there. Got to give him that. If you're giving Hudson that,
yes,
give the kid that. 2-0 on Nori Aoki. Aoki 0 for 1 and a walk. Good sink there, and it's a strike. 2-1. We were mentioning Pat Burgess. You and I were standing a few weeks ago down in Scottsdale talking about some of the young pitchers in the Rockies organization and their stuff, and Pat went on and on about Oberg's stuff and his makeup.
Yeah, it's a couple times during spring training pitching against big leaguers. You could see the swings that they were taking off him. They didn't feel comfortable. They weren't squaring the ball up. It's just something you always dream of as a kid, though, making it to the big leagues. And now Scott has that on his resume.
Tough chance for Arenado. It's going to be an infield hit. Naoki, who slaps the ball around, has now hit in 17 straight, continuing his major league best stretch.
Yeah, 15 for 36 as a leadoff hitter. Just a slap. Did you see where that ball started? Let's go back to that just for a second and see that hit foul in the other batter's box and then went fair. He hit that ball so deep. Look at that.
Wow.
That's the type of swing you'll see where you're just hoping to foul it off.
That's supposed to end up in the Giants' dugout.
It's a souvenir for a fan because somebody in the dugout would grab it, toss it over the dugout.
Panic, a strikeout, and a deep fly ball to right. Tuna. Rockies up 3-0 yesterday. They won 2-0. It's the first time in more than 60 years that the World Series champs were shut out in their home opener. It's happened only 3 times. Two and one on Panic, nobody out.
False break at first by Aoki. Going anywhere, just think he could rattle the youngster.
Two, and that's fouled off. Oberg, another guy signed by Mike Garlotti, who does a real good job scouting the Northeast.
And it's a special day for him.
Yep.
I mean, scouts are putting miles and miles on the car, going to see everybody. And then when one of their players makes it, it's almost, it's just one of those incredible feelings. One of their kids.
3-2. Oberg 2 years ago at Modesto had a 1.86 ERA in 56 appearances. He had 33 saves. Throughout his minor league career, he has struck out more than a hitter an inning.
It's in Grand Junction, Modesto, Tulsa.
Make the pitch here, 3-2. Aoki takes off, strike 3, throw to second, and Aoki swipes the bag. But the strikeout of Panic gives Oberg his first big league out.
Well, Bruce Bochy puts the steal sign on, try to stay out of the double play, almost backfired. Pretty good jump. Just a lock-up fastball from Oberg, the second stolen base of the year for Aoki, and only the second stolen base for the Giants. He has both of them.
Angel Pagan is 2 for 2. Bochy's team 3 for their last 36 with runners in scoring position. guy to the left really knows those numbers. Bam Bam. Hensley Mulin's the hitting coach for the Giants. And this is a too low. Just did get Pagan, who runs well. 2 outs.
Calling all college students. College night at the ballpark is Friday, April 24th. Packages include a rooftop ticket, concession credit, and sunglasses. Visit Rockies.com/college. And don't forget college night, April 24th.
Brandon Belt, a ground ball to short. And he fouled out down the third base line. Maiden voyage for Scott Oberg in relief of Christian Bergman, who went 4 shutout innings. Shift on again. Fastball at 95, a little too tall. This is a message, a tweet from the Rockies organization. Congratulations to Scott Oberg on the mound in his big league debut.
Big league game break. You know what? There's a guy that was in. There's Drew. Let's go back to San Fran, guys.
All right, Mark, thanks very much. So the debut of Scott Oberg, and he played on some pretty good UConn teams.
He did. He played 2012 and 2011. Springer was there, and Mike Alt. They all overlapped. And the coach for UConn is Jim Penders. Remember the legendary basketball coach at Texas?
Tom Penders.
That's his son.
Really? I didn't know that. And you're talking about big bats. Mike Alt and George Springer with Houston.
Well, we just
Two
saw
big-time bats.
Yeah, we just saw Alt with the Cubs and then Springer down in Houston.
Springer, one of the top prospects in baseball. Alt kind of had that distinction a couple of years ago. 1 strike on Nolan Arenado, a double and a strikeout for Nolan. Inside. Now, LaTroy Hawkins in a new role is throwing in the bullpen.
Lee Masili's son also went to UConn.
Is he in pro ball right now?
Yes, he is.
in the air to center field. That'll bring up Dickerson, who's 2 for 2. He has scored 2 of the Rockies' 3 runs. Curveball misses, ball 1. Another sellout crowd. Longest sellout streak in the big leagues. 329 straight now. There's 41,051 in the house. 1-1.
I have to say this too. I like Bronco orange. I don't like San Francisco Giant orange.
I understand that sentiment.
Yeah.
Yeah, Corey does play. He plays the game with his hair on fire.
Whoa. A high and tight fastball almost put his hair on fire. Get out of the way.
Didn't get a piece of it. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Hundley. 7 in a row retired all of a sudden by Hudson. With every challenge call, the Subaru Eyesight Review will determine the outcome. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Hundley a base hit his last time, 1 for 2.
Troy still throwing down in the bullpen.
And a ground ball to Crawford. Rockies lead it 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning at AT&T Park.
Bottom of the sixth, Colorado holding on to their 3-0 lead. LaTroy Hawkins coming in relief for the Rockies. This is appearance 1,004 in LaTroy Hawkins' 21-year career. His former teammate Jeremy Affeldt, who's in the bullpen for the Giants, has great respect for Hawkins.
He's an interesting breed, I think that, you don't see a lot of those guys. Obviously, I don't think there's anybody even close to him right now actively as a reliever. Playing as long as he's played, and to do what he's done and play on as many different teams as he's played on and gone through he's had some downtimes in this game, and to see how he's mentally just approached the game and how successful he's been, just is a testament to one, his work ethic. You have to stay healthy. 21 years, you got to stay healthy, and to stay healthy and then bounce back from a couple injuries he had, I think in Milwaukee, was pretty awesome.
Affeldt had a lot of success in his career as well, 726 games for him, so he's about 278 shy of where LaTroy Hawkins is at. But it was just a testament to listen to Affeldt before the game when I was chatting with him, talk about his transition from being a starter to being a reliever, and really his first full year of doing that, he said, was 2007 when he was teammates with LaTroy Hawkins, and he said he was really one of the first to teach me mentally how to learn to be a reliever, and that is exactly what LaTroy Hawkins continues to do in his final season of Major League Baseball with this current Rockies bullpen. Guys?
Yeah, Jenny, there aren't many guys who have been around now longer than Jeremy Affeldt thrown out of the bullpen. LaTroy clearly one of those. Here's the 1-0, and that misses. It's 2-0 on Gregor Blanco. So LaTroy, who was hit hard in 2 ninth-inning appearances, kind of reset himself here in the 6th inning. It's Blanco, Duffy, and Sanchez.
Well, this is a pitch that LaTroy would obviously like to have back. An 0-2 count, you're dealing with some shadows, and he said it himself. He threw a cement mixer slider up there. Well, maybe if you bury it at the back foot, or you just throw the fastball, because it's tough enough to pick up in those shadows. But coulda, woulda, shouldas. But a stand-up guy in LaTroy.
2-1 in the air to deep center field. Blackman will retreat and have room. 1 out. Matt Duffy, a walk and a base hit, an infield hit, will take his turn. And a weak ground ball toward DJ on the move. 2 outs. Hector Sanchez struck out twice against Christian Bergman. Again, Bergman went 4 innings. He threw a few more pitches than he'd like to in 4 innings, but he didn't give up a run. 85 pitches, 4 hits, a couple of walks, 4 strikeouts.
Sanchez playing the stall game, the Dean Smith 4 corners after the 2 quick outs.
On 1 hop to DJ. Good bounce back inning for LaTroy. We move on again to the 7th inning. Rockies continuing to shut out the world champion Giants 3-0.
Go top of the 7th inning. Rockies lead 3-0. We talk about DJ LeMahieu and his ability to hit the ball to the right side. Well, there's another guy in the ballpark, Aoki, that can hit just as well to the left side. 44% of hits to left field for DJ, 44% to right. But they do it in different ways. Aoki, his hands are further away from his body, lets the ball get away from him as he's running out of the box. DJ, on the other hand, will keep his hands and his elbow very close to his body. That allows the hands to come through first, drag the barrel, but they still do the same thing. They hit the ball the other way as well as anybody in the National League and probably all of baseball.
Now, Tim Hudson's still out there. He's pitching his best baseball in the middle innings. We think started. He didn't think he was going to be around long. Rockies got 8 hits in the first 4 innings against him, scoring 3 runs, but he's retired the last 8. 2-0 on LeMahieu. Christian Anoa has come out in the on-deck circle.
A couple left-handers warming up. Christian Friedrich for the Rockies and Javier Lopez for the Giants.
There's the Cowboy doing a little homework. 3-0.
I'd like to see he's sporting that brown and gold still.
Have you ever seen him in anything but brown and gold? Except
no.
when we force him into a Root sport shirt
right.
That's black or purple. 3-1. Friedrich. And LeMahieu hits it in the air to Pagan. The day after every Rockies victory, get 50% off your online order at Papa John's. The promo code is ROXWIN, and you can use it at papajohns.com. So here's Rafi Noah with 1 out.
Fourth pinch hit appearance for Rafi.
On the ground to Crawford. You know, thinking about this, Bergman can't get the victory.
No.
So Scott Oberg, in his first appearance in the big leagues with a clean 5th inning, it's up to the official score, but you know, if this holds up, he could be in line to get his first major league win in his major league debut.
Very few times will you see an official score go against that. You know, where say, well, the guy didn't get it through the 5th inning, but you can give it to. No, if Scott Oberg, he is a pitcher of record. After Justin Morneau had caught the ball at the end of that inning, he comes into the dugout. He at first thought about handing the ball to Oberg and said no, and then he flipped it to Darren Holmes.
Strike 2 on Charlie Blackmon. Charlie, a base hit in the first inning. Sharp ground ball to second, and he smoked a deep drive to right that was caught by Blanco. McChee. And Lopez. It was good to see Corey. Troy Hawkins having a 1-2-3 inning. I don't think he's been through some adversity. He's 42, folks. He played a long time.
And he's seen it all. probably everything about happened to him in baseball.
That's
yesterday when they told him, he took it like a professional. He understands what happened. Just keep working.
Yep. Charlie trying to reach for Cargo. I wonder if he gets on if
well,
they bring Lopez
they would go
in.
to Lopez for Cargo, and that's why they have Machi up if it would get to Tulo.
And we've seen Bochy do that many times. He'll go one reliever for one batter.
That hit him.
Well, we'll find out right now. 2 outs. Blackman goes to first.
Well, Hudson at 97 pitches. You have this lefty specialist, and that's what Lopez is in the bullpen. He's ready. Where did this get? Ooh,
right above the knee.
Right above the knee.
Well, it's not going to go to Lopez. Cargo's 1 for 3. It's played by Bell.
Helps that he was left-handed on that throw.
Play 2-0. Rockies got 2 in the second. They added a run in the 4th. Blackman, the first base runner since the 4th for Colorado. And this ball on the ground to second. Stretch time in San Francisco. The Rockies in control, 3-0.
it out. The Reds win 3-2. Drew, Jeff, we were talking in the pregame report about how things are heating up with pitchers. Chapman, a good example of that, with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball to close it out.
So he obviously wasn't feeling real good today, Mark.
Yeah.
That's like his C fastball.
Yeah, it didn't hit 102 or 103.
That guy's ridiculous. Christian Friedrich in the 7th inning. Strike 1 on Crawford, strike 2 on Crawford. On deck is Joaquin Arias to hit for Tim Hudson. Rockies 3 and the Giants nothing. 8 hits for the Rockies, 5 hits for San Francisco. Check his swing, it's 1-2. Friedrich, the third pitcher utilized by Walt Weiss out of the bullpen tonight after 4 innings from Christian Bergman.
Well, another one of the guys from the bullpen with the 0 ERA. I mean, he's just come out and been lights out.
This is a big chopper to DJ.
DJ was calling everybody off. He called Justin off on that second hop. He put his arms out and was yelling, "I've got it so you can get back to the bag." Just notice DJ's arms. This is all I'm talking about. Watch it. Right here, I've got it. Get back to the bag. Everybody's talking, communicating. Well, you want to follow live Rockies baseball in 2015 with MLB.com at bat on your phone, smartphone, or tablet, featuring scores, stats, highlights, and more.
Down low, ball 1 on Joaquin Arias. 30-year-old, 4 years now with the Giants. And that's a strike at 91. You mentioned his 0 ERA. Everybody in the Rockies bullpen has a 0 ERA, with the exception, obviously, of LaTroy Hawkins.
For all you people thinking we might be jinxing it, we have no control over that. Let's just keep it at a 0, though.
1-2, ground ball to Tulo. 2 outs. This sets up well for Walt, because he's also got Boone Logan, and they're loaded up with left-handed bats in this lineup. Now on his bench he has Posey. Casey McGee is available tonight. He is scheduled, we hear, to start tomorrow. He had the cortisone injection a couple days ago in that balky knee. They have Justin Maxwell on their bench. But if you can get Aoki here, next inning you have Panic. You can flip Pagan, and then you have Belt. You're not going to pinch hit in all likelihood for any of those guys. It sets up well for Logan.
Well, if you do pinch hit and you use Buster, then you're going to have to put him into the game, because you want to keep that second and your only backup catcher in case something were to happen to Sanchez.
And then Walt in the 9th can use Ottavino, who's back in play if he wants. He'd go back to Betancourt if he wanted to. 2-0. Let's see if he can come all the way back. 3-0.
Come back against a guy that was just going to try to slap the ball to left field. We already talked about it. One slap hit to third tonight.
Whoa, not close. Panic, 2 punch outs and a deep fly ball to right.
Smart pitch from Christian. Trouble locating the fastball. Go to the slider, different release point. Really focus on finishing out front.
One and one.
But at least he got that fastball down. didn't leave it up and high.
Ground ball, Tulowitzki on the backhand. He'll go the short way, and Christian Friedrich with a real solid 7th inning. We move to the 8th, 3-0 Colorado.
To nothing. Troy Tulowitzki leading off, and in honor of Pete Rose's 74th birthday today, we have to have Troy tell you a story of how he got out of a slump one time here at AT&T Park.
Figured, hey, I can't get a hit off Barry Zito, so if I use this bat, I'll for sure get a hit. So I asked Harvey, hey, can I use this bat in the game? Harvey said, yeah. So I took a Pete Rose, official, signed, everything bat up to the plate in San Francisco, and I actually took a full swing. I don't know if you guys can look up this, on video or whatnot. And the full swing, it went perfect right in the middle between the shortstop, second baseman, and center fielder. Center fielder came in on it. It bounced over his head. So I ended up getting a double with the Pete Rose bat. Harvey comes up to me the next day, congratulates me or whatnot, and he goes, hey, Buster Posey, I want to know what the hell you were doing using a Pete Rose bat. He's never seen anything like it, and he can't believe it. So I've been known to, use Big 5 bats, Pete Rose bats, but anything kind of works with me.
Well, Tulo grounding out there to start the inning, but such a great story. Harvey, who he was mentioning, runs the visiting clubhouse here at AT&T Park. Let him borrow that Pete Rose signed bat. Would you ever let somebody borrow a Pete Rose signed bat that you have, guys?
Well,
to get a hit?
I'll tell you another story, Jenny, and Tulo alluded to it. He was here in San Francisco. He was in a bit of a slump. He went to a Big 5 sporting goods store and bought a Derek Jeter bat because that's his hero. And this is not, a Derek Jeter bat that you think, a kid's going to use. Obviously it wasn't a kid size. It was a 34-inch bat, but it's not big league wood.
No.
And he went up the first 2 plate appearances and used that. His third plate, he didn't get a hit. His third plate appearance, he hit it out.
Well,
we were looking, is that the same bat? It wasn't. He had gone back to one of his own. But his first 2 plate appearances, he took up a Derek Jeter bat he bought for $25 earlier that afternoon.
They're both great stories. My favorite part is Buster Posey. Can you just imagine what's going through his mind as he looks up and sees this bat and goes, what the heck are you doing with that Pete Rose bat?
Look at this. Morneau lays down the bunt. Gene Michi smelled it and able to throw out. Morneau saw the shift on. 2 gone, and that'll bring up Arenado.
But what's Harvey going to say to him? Troy, no, you cannot use that bat. Harvey's just say, sure, go ahead. Hope you don't break it.
Listen, you played for more than 10 years in the big leagues. Nothing surprises you, does it, with the superstitions big leaguers have? They'll do anything to get out of a funk.
That we use the same bat for a whole team one time because we were in a slump, just like you do in Little League.
Just leave it at the plate.
Just leave it at the plate.
What team were you with?
Angels.
How'd it work out?
I don't know, but I do remember Benji Molino got his first big league knock with that bat, so we did have to take the bat out of play later on in the game. But Orlando Palmeiro got tossed because he struck out. He dropped the bat at home plate. The home plate umpire thought he was showing him up. And so Terry Collins had to run out and say, no, that did. They're using the same bat, so they let him back in the game.
He got thrown out. You can come back.
You come back. But the umpire said, you better not be fooling me, Terry. Sure enough, we all use the same bat.
That's a great story.
Anything. You'll try anything. We're going through those rough times.
Rockies without a hit since the 4th inning. Nick Hundley had the last hit. Just one base runner. That was the 2 outs last inning. The walk to, the hit by pitch, Charlie Blackmon. 3-0. And it looks like Betancourt, not Logan, in the 8th inning.
That probably tells you that Otto will have the 9th.
Ball 4. So Arenado walks and Dickerson will come up. It may be that Walt wants to stay away from Logan because he pitched yesterday and he pitched on Sunday. It's probably part of it.
You have to save some for tomorrow.
Dickerson 2 for 3, couple singles, a ribby, a run scored, 2 runs scored in fact. Rockies got 3 in the first 4 innings against Tim Hudson.
The first 15,000 fans through the gates on Saturday, April 25th, will receive a Vinny Castilla drink beverage wrap. It's brought to you by Donate Life Colorado.
Now we got Arenado tied up. One unassisted is how you score that. The Rockies done in the 8th inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Rockies leading 3-0. Enter the 7th annual Boys and Girls Club of Metro Denver Dream House raffle, an opportunity to win a $2.5 million home or $2 million in cash, and you'll help out a great cause as well. Visit milehighraffle.com for more information. That's milehighraffle.com. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Rockies 3, the Giants nothing. Angel Pagan, Brandon Belt, Gregor Blanco against the man who got the save yesterday. 39-year-old Rafael Betancourt.
What a special save it was for Raffy. Last time he had to save was August 20th of 2013. 2 days later, he hurt his elbow.
And he pours that over the outside corner, strike one. Bergman for 4, Oberg an inning in his big league debut, Hawkins a clean inning, Friedrich an inning, and now Rafael Betancourt.
Angel faced Raffy yesterday, flew out to left field.
This is a flare to shallow left, and Dickerson can't come up with it. That's the first base runner allowed this year by Rafael Betancourt.
And yesterday for Raffy to step back out on a big league mound. Opportunity to save the ball game. And he nailed it down. 3 batters, 3 outs.
And he's been economical each outing. So Brandon Belt with Pagan aboard. Pagan has 3 of the 6 hits tonight for San Francisco. Betancourt utilizing that changeup more in his return from Tommy John surgery. Good pitch to get a rollover on.
Split change. Well, with Raffy 2 on the hill, Troy is not on the second base side. Well, they don't employ the shift as much.
Just missed, 2-1. Two balls, 2 strikes.
There's a fastball you just don't pick up. 88 miles an hour, and it caused even the defensive swing from Brandon Belt.
Again, De La Rosa started, went 5 innings, around 75 pitches tonight for Albuquerque, pitched well. Should be on schedule to assume his spot in the rotation in 5 days. 3-2. See if Bochy starts Pagan here.
I think he will. He did earlier in the game. Pagan, pretty good speed.
See if Rafford picks. There he goes. Ball 4. That's unusual. Rafael does not walk many. So now 2 men are on for Gregor Blanco and nobody out. The bloop single and the walk.
Don't forget that the Giants still have Buster Posey sitting on their bench. There's Buster hiding behind the railing.
Blanco, a ground ball to second, a single, and a fly ball to center field. There's a strike. This may be playable. A lot of times it'll come back and oh my goodness, did he catch that?
He caught that.
You got to be kidding me to get the they almost got a double play. What an unbelievable catch, and Arenado's okay.
You know what? And he's even getting some standing ovations from the Giants fans.
That was remarkable.
Just his back and the way it was torqued on that tarp.
I'm fine. Is that what you just said?
Oh. Folks, you're not going to see a better catch anywhere than what you see right here.
How did he do that?
And then to throw from his knees on the tarp.
There's not going to be a better play in baseball tonight, tomorrow, next
the rest
week.
Of the year. I mean, that's Jeter-esque.
He's
when
running
he went into
full tilt, knowing that he's going to run into the stands or the tarp or both. And in this case, it was both. And he gets a standing ovation from many here in San Francisco. Unbelievable. All right, mail him the third Gold Glove.
Go ahead, right now. Already start planning the ceremony next year.
And I'm telling you what, it was a fairly close play. The ball popped out, but it was a fairly close play on Pagan at third. How about if he got the double play?
That would have just been the cherry on top of the sundae.
Bochy would have waved the white flag, said, all right, your game. We'll see you tomorrow night.
I'm still in awe of that catch.
I'm watching it. I'm watching the flight of the ball thinking, is it going to stay out? Then all of a sudden I see a body flying on the tarp, and I'm like, he caught it.
I was watching Corey in left field.
Matt Duffy.
I mean, that's worth another couple looks.
He never had an opportunity to brace himself. And then he has the wherewithal to turn around and throw the ball toward third. And he made an accurate throw. It's like Gumby. Go get that one. How come he's not making a play on that one?
Like Inspector Gadget.
You got to love this game. You won't see a better play. You will not see a better play all year.
I referenced.
You'll see some great ones. You won't see one better than that.
Remember when Jeter went into the stands, flipped over, came out with his face bloody?
Yeah. 0-2. to right field. Cargo has it, and here's the throw to the plate. Pagan will score. And the Giants have ended the drought.
Well, just one.
They had gone 18 innings without scoring.
They'd been 0 for 14 with runners in scoring position prior to that. But if you're Raphael, you'll trade that to still have the runner at first. Cargo gets behind the ball and lets it fly.
Well, Bruce Bochy is going to play the Buster Posey card right here. He'll bat for Hector Sanchez. Two outs in the eighth. Posey 3 for 7 against Betancourt in his career. Adam Ottavino. Betancourt has a strike. Beautiful thing about Raffy, he can paint arm side and glove side.
Doesn't
saw him
matter.
do it with the lefties.
Yes.
Now he paints on the glove side on the outside corner against the right-handed hitting Posey.
That's been his MO for his entire career.
Swung on and missed. It's 0-2.
Paint the corner away. Go back out there.
We'll run on that fastball.
Had some run. Buster was looking to drop and drive, try to tie it up.
Oh-2, fouled off. Posey not starting tonight, his first non-starting assignment of the season. Game number 9 for the Giants. 0-2. No hitter better in the second half of 2014 than Florida State's Buster Posey at .354 in the second half last year.
4th in the National League batting race, Silver Slugger.
One, two. Posey hit .277 first half last year. Solid but unspectacular postseason. Giants rode Madison Bumgarner to their 3rd World Championship in 5 years. 1-2. Brandon Crawford on deck. Popped up, foul ground. It's going to blow way out of play.
Nolan, where are you?
Right? Fourth outing in 5 days for Raphael Betancourt. The Giants' big bat at the plate, Buster Posey. 2 outs in the 8th. In the air, well hit center field. Blackmon leaps and makes the catch. Charlie Blackmon, Nolan Arenado take a bow. A run for the Giants, but the Rockies lead it 3-1 as we go to the ninth. Airlines, book your low fare now at southwest.com. By Jack in the Box, Jack's hottest sandwich is back. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. And by Mike Shaw Subaru, always our lowest price in sales and service guaranteed. Rockies 3, Giants 1, top of the ninth. Mark Stout and Ryan Spilborgh's in Denver. Spilly, have you ever seen two better plays than the last two to close out an inning?
No, I haven't. Those are the two best plays I've seen in a long time. That's fun baseball. We have topicals, but we're not even going to talk about it.
They're going to fall flat. Corey Dickerson looks like RBIs. Bullpen bullies.
Yeah, they're bullies.
No, they didn't.
Holy Noli! Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
And then that Blackmon catch.
That was a great catch.
You know what, guys? This is awesome baseball.
We're just going to watch replays of Nolan's catch over and over again.
Let's hope the Rockies hold on, and we will have the Toyota postgame report coming your way.
I'll tell you what, that Nolan Arenado's a freak show. That's what he is. Buster Posey's behind the plate after pinch hitting for Hector Sanchez. Didn't put enough money in the meter as he's robbed of at least a double on that catch by Charlie Blackmon. 3-1 Rockies, top of the ninth. Dickerson, Hundley, LeMahieu, Santiago Casilla, the closer for the Giants, is on the hill.
Just trying to find some innings to work. Giants have lost the last 4 ball games. They need to get their closer in.
Their longest losing streak since last August. That's right, the Giants, who were world champs, lost 5 in a row in August.
Hard throwing Casilla, taking over the closer's role from Sergio Romo, who was demoted partly because of what the Rockies did to him last year.
I think in large part because of what the Rockies did to him. And he blew 2 saves in June when the Rockies swept the Giants here. And then Casilla took over and did a really good job.
Yes.
And their bullpen is back virtually the same as a year ago. I mean, the left-handers have been there forever. Affeldt, Lopez, Contos is down there. Romo's still there. This ball is roped toward right center field in Triple's alley, and it's going to roll all the way there. Dickerson around second, headed to third. Rockies with a chance to get that run back. A leadoff triple for Corey Dickerson, his 3rd knock of the ball game.
His first triple of the year. Oh, yeah, split the gap. Boy, for a left-hander, can he get on top of the baseball as well as anybody up by the letters?
Yeah, he hits the high fastball for a left-handed bat as well as anybody you'll see in the game. And you're not going to throw a heater by him.
No.
Up and in on Hundley. Giants have to pull the infield in. LeMahieu on deck. Nick's 1 for 3.
All right, so you want to throw up and in. I'm going to take one right back up the middle, try to take your head off.
Two and one. Hundley hitting .421, 8 for 19 out on the road. Ottavino's ready. He's going to have the 9th inning. Seagulls are swarming. Dickerson at third, a leadoff triple here in the 9th. 3-1 Colorado, 2-2. And Hundley goes down to Casilla, 1 out. And here comes LeMahieu. Who wants tacos? Folks, follow @RootSports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies score 7 or more in a ball game. LeMahieu, a single back in the 2nd. He had a safety squeeze in the 4th. I'm sure that's heavy on the Giants' mind right now.
That's what I was thinking. Do they call a pitch out first pitch?
Also fly ball to center field. 1 for 2. Outside. Good speed at third and Dickerson. Rosario's come out on deck to hit the pitcher spot. Want to know on DJ. 2-0. Here's a safety squeeze back in the 4th.
When DJ on his own pushes it to the first baseman, Brandon Belt. Trotting home is Corey easily. Yeah, smart play, high fives all around.
To LeMahieu. Outside, 3-0.
You can tell the respect. 2-0 slider to DJ. Yeah, that's right, an 88-mile-an-hour slider.
Ball 4, not close. So first and third, which changes your defense. Rosario up.
That's a cause for Brandon Crawford to come in and explain how they're going to play the defense to Santiago. Dave Righetti, the pitching coach, will come slow things down, allow Sergio Romo to go to the bullpen, along with, again, with Javier Lopez. Well, if they play the infield in like they did, I'd have DJ take off and steal second.
You got to play double play depth up the middle, don't you?
Well, I think you play at the 3 depth. I don't think you can go all the way back.
But I mean, if Rosario hits it on the ground, and out of the right side of the box, the guy who doesn't, I mean, he runs decent, he runs pretty well for a catcher, but he's not a speed demon by any stretch.
I get that, but if he tops it and it's not hard enough for a double play ball, defensively, I got to have the option to come home to cut that extra run off.
Well, the discussion's over, and they're moving back.
Not all the way for Crawford.
Yeah. Well, what would you call it? 3.5?
3.5. The in between, I'm not quite sure. Depth.
Rosario takes a strike. Adapting to his new role, spot starter, pinch hitter extraordinaire. 2 for 11 against Casilla with a home run, but as a pinch hitter, in 32 career at-bats, he's hitting .344 with a couple home runs. A huge one in Milwaukee earlier this year. He basically win the game for the Rockies in the 10th. It's so tough, Huey. You've been in this situation before. You have all the adrenaline going, but you got to slow yourself down.
And that's a hard thing, but breathing becomes important. Take that deep breath.
I've always found breathing to be important.
No, you are correct. Make sure you continue to breathe.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, try to slow it down that way.
Sure.
Control your breathing.
Yeah,
I guess would be a better way to say it.
I knew what you meant.
I know.
1-1. Big chopper. That's what you talked about. And there's only one play. Rosario gets the run home. That's exactly what you talked about.
Yeah,
I don't care where they were, though.
No,
Dickerson was going to score in
that
situation. No.
But that's what you have to guard against. But good for Willeen to get the ball in play. Just make it happen. Doesn't matter how hard you hit it, but you hit it on the ground. You got that extra run, and you stole that run back that they got last half inning.
You have a strikeout pitcher on the hill. Bochy's going to go get Casilla now. And it brings us back to what we were discussing earlier, that graphic we ran.
Mm-hmm.
Through the first 4, now 5 ball games, the Rockies on the road, as opposed to so many empty at-bats a year ago, punch-outs, they're getting the ball in play. You get the ball in play, good things happen generally.
It always does. It puts the defense on their heels.
So the Rockies get that run back. They're up by 3 in the 9th. Dickerson, and he comes home on the RBI ground out by Willeen Rosario. 2 outs, Blackman at the plate, LeMahieu's at second. And with 2 outs, Javier Lopez takes over for Santiago Casilla.
Javier Lopez, just forever this has been his role. The lefty specialist. Righties will hit him harder than left-handers, but that drop down, throwing across the body, keep you in the game for a long time.
Pitched with the Rockies in 03, part of 04, part of 05. Product of the University of Virginia. Also Boston, briefly with the Pirates in 2010, and then he was traded to the Giants. And he's been a fixture for Bruce Bochy since. 0-2. Still makes his home in Golden. He and his wife and their 2 children. One and 2 on Blackman. Javi, one of the real good guys in the game of baseball. Psychology degree, in fact, from Virginia.
Similar to Mike McNante, a left-handed pitcher. Same arm action.
Yeah. Crossfires. He's on that first base side of the rubber. Tough on lefties. Charlie's been on twice, a hit, and was hit by a pitch. Ottavino, next half inning, we'll see Crawford, a pinch hitter, and then Nori Aoki.
And no Buster.
And Buster still in the game, but he just hit. Strike 3. So we'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Rockies get a run back. Dickerson led it off with a triple. 4-1 Colorado. Adam Ottavino when we return. Rockies 4, Giants 1. Colorado looking for 3 more outs. Tonight's game changer brought to you by T-Mobile. Any guesses? Nobody out, 2 men on. Foul pop-up in an impossible place down the left field line. Run through the bullpen. Look out for the tarp. I got it. Fall into the crowd. Then turn around and fire a strike to third and nearly get a double play. Folks, you're going to watch the entire 2015 season. You can watch every team play. You will not see a better catch. Our game changer brought to you by T-Mobile. Adam Ottavino, first pitch strike on Brandon Crawford. Ottavino looking for his 2nd career save. He had one in a 10-inning ball game against the Cubs at Wrigley back on July 30th of last year.
And that's where for Wald, it's to have the options that he has. You throw Raffy in the 8th and come back with the Ottavino and all his sliders in the 9th.
Inside 2-1. Justin Maxwell on deck. Crawford's 0 for 3, 0 for his last 20 at the plate. Three and 1.
No walking. If he's going to beat you, make him beat you. Getting the base hit, swinging the bat.
Here's Maxwell. Got him.
Hit that slider.
Good luck. 1 out in the 9th.
This is what's taken Adam to a new level. Yeah, we know about the slider, and that's filthy, 83. But he also can back it up with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
And it's, as he describes, 3 different types of slider.
Yes, it depends on what he feels, how he feels he wants to throw it. Maybe a little harder, softer, more downward bite.
Maxwell overwhelmed at 96. No left-handed bats on the bench for Bruce Bochy. They're all in the game. 0-2. Aaron Cook.
Is that Aaron?
No, not unless Aaron's been eating a whole lot. But good to see a Rockies fan here amid the Giants fans. Held up. 1-2 on the well-traveled Justin Maxwell. See you later. That's ridiculous. 2 outs. Justin Maxwell saying, what am I supposed to do with that?
Nothing. Take a seat.
Our CenturyLink link to what's next. Here's a pitching matchup Wednesday evening here at AT&T. Tyler Matzek will have the baseball for the 2nd time. And 2-time Cy Young Award winner Tim Lincecum will be on the hill for San Francisco. Nori Aoki. Inside on Aoki. How would you describe this pitch?
Frisbee.
See, this is what I mean. This was a different slider
it didn't
than
have
the previous one.
Didn't have the downward 12-6 tilt like the one he threw to Brandon Crawford.
Yeah, that made a left turn. 2-0.
That was all for show.
Here's the 2-1. And it's 2-2. 1 strike away. Well, for the first time this year, and the Rockies could care less about what I'm about to say, the Rockies are going to fall short of double digits in hits. They have 9 hits, producing their 4 runs tonight. But they're up by 3. 2 outs, 2-2. See you later. He struck out the side. Adam Ottavino earns the save, and the Rockies have won their first